Let's move into the third grouping, and we're talking about 21 through 30. Boys, let's go through this because we are starving.
I'm
Ricky,
starving.
Start at 21. Take us through 30.
He's melting away over there.
Starting at, not melting away.
Turn
Jesus
sideways, I can't
Christ,
even
just
see
go
him.
21 through 30.
Well, 21, I got the Nuggets going with Jacob Evans. Then the Bulls going with the guy they promised. Chandler Hutchinson is going to be a Bull. Then the Pacers at 23 going with Melvin Frazier out of Tulane. Then the Blazers at 24 going Troy Brown out of Oregon. Then the Lakers going with a guy that they really want. I think they promised him the pick at 25. It'll be Mitchell Robinson. Then the 76ers going Gary Trent Jr., third Dookie for me off the board. Then directly after him, the fourth Dookie, Grayson Allen, going to the Boston Celtics. Then the Golden State Warriors take Kevin Huerter, the 3-and-D guy out of Maryland. Then Dzanan Musa going to the Nets. And then my only trade in this that's new, 76ers will give up 2 of their seconds, 38 and 39, to take Jalen Brunson, another Villanova guy, and an Illinois native at 30.
There you go. Dave, take us through your 21 through 30.
Cool. I got the Wizards at 21 via that trade with the Bulls. Taking Mitchell Robinson, the guy they wanted. The Bulls at 22, taking Chandler Hutchinson. Right, like Ricky said, I'm buying into the he was promised, it's going to happen line. At 23, I've got the Pacers going Aaron Holiday, getting themselves a guard who has a ton of potential and a great last name and a family in the NBA. Can't go wrong there. 24, Trailblazers going Dzanan Musa. 25, the Lakers going Troy Brown. 26, the 76ers going Jalen Brunson. Oh, what a coincidence. 27, I've got the Celtics going Dante DiVincenzo. 28, I've got the Warriors going Jacob Evans. 29, the Nets going Keita Bates-Diop. And 30, I've got the Rockets taking Melvin Frazier.
One thing I want to throw in there, because for Nuggets fans coming in going, what? Why are we at 21? That was a trade that was from the last segment with Jay Crowder, Jerebko, 21st, future Utah, and you guys give up 14 and free.
And Ricky's referencing his own trade, not Dave's.
Yeah.
And let's my 21 through 30. The Jazz at 21 taking Anthony Simmons, guard out of high school. Then at 22, the Mavericks via the Bulls taking Troy Brown, the forward out of Oregon. That was when the 7 and 22 for 5 swap between the Bulls and the Mavericks. The Pacers taking guard Aaron Holiday from UCLA, from UCLA. Then at 24, the Nets via the Trailblazers. That was the 14 trade monster where the Nets take on Mo Harkless, Delhi, and get a 24th pick from the Blazers.
Hat.
The hat was already on.
You earned it again.
The Nets end up getting that pick at 24, so they take up Lonnie Walker. Then 25, the Wizards via the Lakers. That was a 15, 20, and Marcin Gortat swap. The Wizards end up taking Moritz Wagner out of Michigan. Then at 76, Dzanan Musa is taken by the 76ers. Then at 27, the Celtics take Shake Milton out of SMU. Then at 28, the Warriors take Kevin Huerter, the guard out of Maryland. Then at 29, the Nets take Omari Spellman, forward out of Villanova. And at 30, the Hawks take Jacob Evans out of Cincinnati. So, boys, let's look into this. First, going to start off with Dave. Dave, you wanted to talk about the Lakers. You have him going Troy Brown. What do you like about Troy Brown on the Lakers?
Troy Brown's basically like a Swiss Army knife. He's yet to be unlocked, though. He's a young kid who has...
How do you unlock a knife?
I mean, we're in Chicago, so, we got that whole, you have to have the, you can't have switchblades. You got the little buttons. You got to, the releases.
Okay. You got to release him.
Yeah. So, look, he is physically set. He's 6'7", I think only a 6'9", 6'10" wingspan. Not the best, but still not bad. Considering he's a guard. He has guard handles. He can be a secondary ball handler for that Laker team. I love the fit out there. He can drive an offense. And again, young, but also on that Oregon team looked to as a leader, which I think going to a team where you have Lonzo Ball already there, perfect. You make sure that second unit, he can be a floor general, but also gives you great size on the outside to match up with people. I think fit-wise, the Lakers love it, and this is all assuming the plan happens with free agency for them.
Well, and for me, the Lakers, the big thing is, in yours, Mitchell Robinson, would they trade up to get him? And could they find a team, perfect world here, take Luol Deng's contract and be able to move up?
I mean, what are you giving up to do that?
Yeah, that's impossible.
I have no idea.
To move up and take Deng's
Am I getting Brandon Ingram? Or...
That makes no sense.
I'm just
Maybe
thinking
move down.
because the thing with the Lakers that'll be interesting in this draft
is
they have said everyone except for Lonzo, which I don't even think they like. The big thing is everyone's like, would you basically say no? Lonzo's on the table too, but basically everyone but Lonzo and BI, everyone's on the table. So will a team come in and say we want this for Kuzma?
Did you scrap your Kuzma trade?
I did because the Clippers.
But what was your Kuzma trade?
My original one was it was Luol Deng, Kuzma, and then like I think the 25 and future picks for the Magic and I think Terrence Ross.
Okay.
The Magic 6 and Terrence Ross.
Yeah, I mean it's something where I don't think the Lakers are going to make a big move. Like I think if they're making a move, they're trying to get rid of contract.
If Doncic drops,
I don't think they're making a big move. And to go from 25 to top 6 is going to be ridiculous.
That's why for me the Mitchell Robinson because it's a closer move.
And the one thing too, I understand you might like.
Is he going to get to 25?
You might like Luka, but you have Lonzo Ball, who I mean, he's not. He's there's shades of there's overlapping of their game. Like
sure.
Lonzo's a better passer. Lonzo's more of a primary ball handler, but Luka is still a creative passer. So is Lonzo Ball. And another thing too. Brandon Ingram showed the ability to be a point forward. Like Brandon Ingram has the ability to be a secondary ball handler. He's a guy that was, when Lonzo was off, was their main ball handler at points. So I don't understand wanting to go up and get Luka when you already have 2 ball handlers. Like the best part about Luka is his ball handling. He's not a shooter. Like maybe if you want to go up and get like Trae Young, then maybe that makes sense. That would be ridiculously probably cancerous if Trae Young goes to the Lakers. But that's something where, again, if you want to add shooting around those guys who are able to pass, then that makes sense. But I don't think the Lakers are moving up unless it's for a guy like Mitchell Robinson, which I have them doing because, again, you're trying to develop those young centers, trying to make sure you have a guy that can protect the rim, can run the rim as well. I think a guy like Mitchell Robinson is going to probably be a guy that really gets the Lakers' eye and is more obtainable rather than a Luka Doncic. Maybe they won't have to trade up for him, but I have them trading up, and Mo Wagner ends up going to the Wizards. But I think Mitchell Robinson probably is one of the easiest links to the Lakers, and it's much easier to get them than trade up into the top 10. I think we got to at least come back to earth here with the trades. I get it, everything can happen, but anything's possible. But let's bring it in. I don't think the Lakers are going to jump all the way up there, but Lakers. I
for
think
me, it's more of. Do you see what's the probability of them moving up for Mitchell Robinson? Because although
fairly high.
I'll be honest, in my mock draft, having him fall to 25 was a bit of a stretch. That might be me saying I want him to go here because the Wizards, they're a team that in my mock draft I'm like, man, at 15 they could, and then I'm like,
Wizards, Bucks, Spurs, Hawks.
I had to almost talk myself into
Wolves.
No, the Wizards would want Lonnie Walker. No, the Bucks would go with Zaire Smith. I had to almost be like, they could go with this and it'll make sense.
That's why I traded
instead of Mitchell Robinson.
That's why I had the Lakers trade up, take on a contract, and because they still have the ability. And I'm of the mindset because even though we have the tinfoil hats, I'm actually living on Earth. LeBron James isn't going to the Lakers, people. I don't care if they're the favorites. LeBron James is not going there.
Sources
I don't give a fuck what the entertainment sources have unless it's coming straight from LeBron James's mouth. I'm not believing jack shit until it comes out.
How good's their medical staff?
I don't care if LeBron James's niece's neighbor said that LeBron's going to L.A. I don't care unless it's coming out and he's already signed the contract. When LeBron signed to the Lakers, then I will paint my face purple and gold.
I can't wait till
it's not going to happen. No, I'm not shaving my brows. But if LeBron goes to the Lakers,
so we're painting his face purple and gold.
If LeBron goes to the Lakers, I will paint my face purple and gold because it's not happening.
Can we give you a pencil thin beard?
Yeah, fine, whatever.
Yes. Whatever. It's on camera.
Could this be 2 for 2?
Whatever.
Yeah. I will. 2 in one season.
I don't know what we're talking about here, but I'm just gonna paint my face purple and gold if LeBron goes to the Lakers. I'll do it because I don't think it's gonna happen.
To match?
What?
Can we get a LeBron James haircut to match?
God damn it! Stop! I'm just painting my face.
I can't wait to paint his face.
God, you're such morons. Why are you painting it? I'm painting it. I'll do it on the podcast.
Oh my God.
But
no,
the
Dave
LeBron
to
LA is a pipe dream. It's ridiculous.
Or
all it
is
is
it?
for entertainment purposes. All it is to drive clicks. He's going to a winner. The Lakers aren't a winner right now, at least. And I think if they're going to try to make a move, they're going to go up and get a guy like Mitchell Robinson, which is much more obtainable than a Luka Doncic or a Trae Young, or getting 2 max and getting Paul George and LeBron James. It's not happening. So I don't know
we talk
why we
about
went
some
on this
winners,
rant,
like the Celtics or the Warriors in this group.
And that's what Ricky wants to talk about. Ricky, you want to talk about Grayson Allen?
For me, the thing is with Grayson Allen, I kind of mentioned this in the Primetime podcast, but I want to say it here as well. For me, I really want Grayson to either go between 26 and 28 because I just feel like he fits in with either the 76ers with how he can shoot the three ball. Him and like if there's a coach, Brad Stevens or Steve Kerr could get the most out. Like we all thought Swaggy P was done. Like there's no help for him.
I didn't.
And Steve Kerr kind of helped him.
He could shoot the three ball.
I know
like
he could
nobody
shoot
else.
the three ball, but we all thought that he's a cancer in the locker room and he's never going to work for a team. And then he's on the Warriors and wins the championship. Went from snitch to putting on the ring.
That's because he saw what real scary looks like.
Yeah.
When Draymond Green's in that locker room, you're no longer the big dog. You're no longer freaking people out.
And I think the same thing, like Celtics and Warriors are the big two, is where I want to see Grayson Allen go. And the Warriors are the big one because I feel like he could fit in with that team and not be cancerous to that team.
Dude,
and with the Celtics, well, I did until I moved some things around. Celtics then took him, and then the Warriors take my second option of Huerter, who perfect. He's a 3-and-D guy. Like, add him right in, and he'll be fine. Well, Klay Thompson 2.0.
That's the guy I want to talk about is Kevin Huerter because he has not been on any of our mocks so far. It's been a while since we've done a 1 through 30.
The first thing he cracked was Brandon's last big board. He cracked.
Yeah, it's
after the
first
combine,
time
right?
we've talked about him.
No, that was the very last one we did. Yeah, after the combine.
First time we've talked about him. What have you guys seen from Huerter that you like? Just not to the Warriors, but in general. What do you like about Huerter? Because now we get to talk about him because we're talking about round 1 and 2.
I mean, I had him going all the way up at like 20. So
20?
Yeah.
What do you like about him though? I
mean, he can shoot lights out. Like period. I know that I'm probably overvaluing the outside shooting, but like at some point the Wolves are a team that are stuck with a bunch of guys who are mid-range experts. You need to have someone who can stretch the floor, especially in that second unit, when you have those mixed lineups in there, and you have to depend on guys like Wiggins and Jimmy Butler plus question mark, and like if it just you need someone who can stretch. He's perfect for it. He's got good size, good instincts, and the shot selection's actually pretty good. I was surprised because I went back, started watching his games because look, going into the combine, I was like, hey, he's a 2. He's a second rounder, like probably early, but still he's a solid second rounder. And then like combine, watched it, was like, damn, he impresses. Go back and watch tape on him and see that like shot selection smart. He's active on the court. He's not a like spot up 3-point shooter, and that's his only role. So like the fact that there's more to him than that really intrigued me.
Well, he reminds me of, and not an exact thing, but he is a similar to Klay Thompson. And I know you mentioned earlier the whole he'd take a pay cut to stay with the Warriors, but why not add a guy who can do similar things? I'm going to say he'll do the exact same things as Klay, but literally he's 6'7", just like Klay. The only thing is he's got to beef up a little bit. Klay is 215. He's 194.
If he was Klay Thompson, why is he going in the back end of your first round?
Well, that's what I'm saying. He's not exactly Klay Thompson, but he can do Klay Thompson things, and that's what I'm saying. Shoot
he's
the
Alan
three,
Crabb.
play defense. Better than Crabb.
Do you think he's better than Crabb this year?
Alan Crabb's a great 3-point shooter.
And for the Warriors, I think with their coaching, I'm just not even going to.
One of the best parts about Klay Thompson is that he's a good defender.
Yeah,
I don't see Huerter being a good defender.
I don't see him being a really bad defender, and that's what he can bring, 3 and D, just not on the same level. That's why I say he's not Klay Thompson, but he can do Klay Thompson-like things.
If you had to choose between him or DiVincenzo, like who would you go?
For the Warriors, I would go with. Well, for the Warriors, I would go with Huerter. It depends on who I'm picking for.
DiVincenzo's a 2.
The thing with that is again, what are we talking about? Like we're talking about Warriors or just a fit in general, like NBA.
We'll go with Warriors. I mean, because
for Warriors,
I
have him going Huerter.
Yeah.
I have him going Huerter because I think he fits in just because I think coming off the bench, he's going to be a guy that can sit on the outside and shoot. They have Patrick McCall who's been able to drive in and penetrate more and kind of play more of the Sean Livingston role. I think they need more of a shooting on the outside, kind of fit along with Nick Young. Kevin Huerter brings that. But if we're talking about who's going to be a better NBA pro, it's going to be DiVincenzo.
So the question is, like, I'm sorry, I'm not looking at your draft. Is DiVincenzo gone on your board already?
No, 34. So 33. He goes 33 to the Mavericks.
So you've got DiVincenzo going after Huerter, even though shooting-wise, they're roughly in the same ballpark. Athletically, DiVincenzo's better, and defensively, it looks like DiVincenzo might have the advantage.
But he did say for the Warriors.
The fit.
So
you think fit-wise, they want the skinnier, less athletic guy?
I think Huerter is a guy that, again, we got to look at what the Warriors are going to be doing. They're going to be bringing in people consistently. They're going to be they're going to try to keep the 4 around: Kevin Durant, Draymond Green, Steph Curry, and Klay Thompson. So getting a guy like Huerter, yes, he's a lesser of a player than DiVincenzo. He's also going to cost less. So yes, he's going to be a budgeter player because again, where you're drafting is going to be different. But again, he's along the lines, he's going to bring you lesser value, but he's also going to cost less money. Where DiVincenzo, maybe if this kid is everything that he's hyped up to be, he's going to be a guy that's going to be a great scorer. He's going to cost maybe upwards to $9 million, $10 million, $11 million when his contract runs up. Huerter might be a guy that consistently stays around $5 to $3 million. For this team. So if I'm the Warriors, I'm trying to keep my big four
intact. It's awfully far down the line to think though.
But it's the Warriors. What do you need? Like
that's three plus years down the road. That's all I'm thinking.
Here's the thing I wonder about DiVincenzo. And yes, I had him above Huerter, but only because the Spurs and how they like him. The thing I worry about him, and I'm not saying this is going to happen, but it could, if 3-4 years down the line, we're looking back going, we're watching a game, DiVincenzo. Remember that kid? Remember that championship game he played? And it being like wasn't anything
that's his
special.
Claim to fame?
Exactly. Like, are we only putting him this high because he had one really good game?
No. I mean, he's had a great combine, too.
But that's the funny thing is like...
He had a great combine, and he just really didn't get enough.
Because throughout the entire season, I know it's like he did have Mikal Bridges and Brunson there,
stuff
too.
has Kevin Huerter been on the mainstream media, though? I mean...
Not at all.
Exactly. So that's the point. Like, you're saying,
Who was watching Maryland basketball?
Thank you. Like, and I even had... I've Huerter going higher than him as well. But that's because I'm not 100% sold. I think that role-wise, DiVincenzo on the right team... amazing. I think the wrong team could be a disaster for him. That's why I landed him. I wanted to drop him back to the Warriors, but I think the Celtics would take him if he was there.
No, and I'm the same thing. Like, the only reason I had DiVincenzo higher is because the Spurs, and I'm like, you know what? If they like a guy, they're going to take him over someone that they didn't interview.
The other thing, too, is this is a mock draft, not a big board.
I know.
So, I mean,
we're picking fits.
DiVincenzo more. So I think Huerter's more of a fit. Because again, he fits the long-term plan of it. Yeah, I mean, we're thinking 3 years down the road, but 3 years down the road, Kevin Durant's still gonna be 32 and still gonna be falling out. Klay Thompson's still gonna be. I think he might be hitting 30. Steph is probably gonna be the one I worry about because of his ankles. But then again, you're still talking about one of the greatest shooters of all time. So the Warriors team is still going to be great. You're still going to need to find cap space. And, of course, the Warriors are thinking down the line because they already have their future in place. It's the 4 guys that just won 3 championships in 4 years. So I think that's one thing that sticks out there for the Warriors and the Huerter debate. What I want to go to, though, is the talks about the Nets because the Nets now have 2 first-round picks after the 14th trade that I made. They end up picking Lonnie Walker at 24 and Amari Spellman at 29. Amari Spellman, again, another guy from Villanova, another guy that's kind of jumped up after a pretty decent combine. He's a guy that can stretch the floor a little bit. I like him a lot for this Nets team. Yes, he might be a little bit of a stretch here at 29, but when you start melding all these guys and you look at the second round, there's a lot of guards in that second round where they don't need a guard after they took Lonnie Walker, after they have D'Angelo Russell. I think the biggest thing for them is being able to stretch the floor. They don't have a player that can do that on their team. Amari Spellman, 43% three-point shooter. In college, I think he's going to be able to bring that over to the NBA, and Lonnie Walker at least brings another guard that can come off the bench when Jeremy Lin, if he's not healthy. Same with D'Angelo Russell, if he's not healthy. And if Spencer Dinwiddie's not on this team, Lonnie Walker's going to come off the bench, and Karis LeVert as well. He's going to be able to come off the bench and at least create some shots and buckets.
Why do you have Lonnie Walker going so low? Like, me and Dave on 14, 15. Why do you got him going at 24?
Well, I mean, I look at him.
I think that's kind of low.
I don't think he fits anywhere. I mean, I don't like guard-wise. I don't have him above Shai Gilgeous. So then we look at teams that need guards. Nuggets, they don't need a guy that's going to be penetrating like that. They need a defender. And Zaire Smith is that guy. I think Zaire Smith has a higher top end than Lonnie Walker does because if he's able to get a shot down, he's going to be a two-way player. Where Lonnie Walker, I don't know where he is going to end up defensively. He really seems lost a lot. At least in college he did. He seemed lost a lot defensively. It didn't seem like he was able to pick up a defense at all. He was really good at driving in, creating his own shot, but he was really not a good outside shooter, where Zaire Smith, again, if he's able to find that shot more consistently.
Supposedly impressing people during the offseason workout.
He's going to be a guy that's going to be a guard that goes there. Then DeAnthony Melton, you need more of a point guard. So, Lonnie Walker isn't that. So DeAnthony Melton fits there, and he's a better defender than Lonnie Walker is. Anthony Simmons, more potential. Aaron Holiday is a better fit for the Pacers.
And one thing that I'm noticing, and I don't want to draw a wedge in between the We Agree podcast, but Dave, He just said that he's not a fit for the Nuggets, and that's where you had Lonnie going.
Yeah, I completely disagree because I think Lonnie's going to be a better professional player than he was in college. I think fit-wise, coaching-wise, he needed something that he wasn't getting in college. And as far as the pace of the game, the speed of it, and what you can do on the court with the spacing you have in the NBA, I think his tools can be much better utilized in the NBA. I think that value-wise, I have him right in the same boat as Zaire Smith. I think they're both unique talents who, at the college level, we saw something interesting out of them. But at the NBA level, we're going to see what they can really do, and I think they're going to both take it up a notch.
I think one thing, though, is with Lonnie Walker, is with that space, though, you're still going to be able to shoot the ball from the outside to prove that you demand that space. Does he have the potential to become a good shooter? Yes, but right now he's not a good shooter, and at least from the outside. And I don't know if that's really going to come with the territory, because he's going to need to be able to control the ball. He's going to need to be a playmaker. And he's also going to need to be able to develop a shot. That's a lot. Where Zaire Smith has the athleticism, he has the very beginnings of a shot. And if you're trying to get a 3-and-D player, you just need the 3 to come along a little bit more, because the defense and the athleticism is there for Zaire Smith. The athleticism is there for Lonnie Walker.
Yeah,
huge wingspan, 6'4", 6'10" wingspan. But I think the one thing is just that I think Zaire Smith is going to be a better fit for the Nuggets, where they need a guy that isn't really a ball handler, because they have Jamal Murray. Gary Harris has been a fine ball handler for them before. And also Nikola Jokic, who's a 7-foot point guard. So I don't think they're really looking for that next point guard ball handler. And I think Lonnie Walker is kind of in the Reggie Jackson territory, where he's not going to be a great playmaking point guard, but he's going to be a good scoring point guard. And I don't really think that fits the NBA today. Where the Nets, I think they have one of those guys in D'Angelo Russell, where you can pair that and kind of play off of that with Lonnie Walker coming off the bench. And also defensively, he might turn it into something special. I'm not saying Lonnie Walker can't develop past what he currently is, but he's a guy that I have lower just because I don't know what he's going to develop into, how much he can develop. And yes, he's a fantastic athlete, was a really highly ranked coming out of high school, and he also dealt with injuries at Miami. But I don't know where he's going to end up and how much he can really develop truly. But let's talk about other guys that we want to talk about in this 21 through 30 range. Any guys that jump out off the page? And Dzanan Musa's there.
That's the one I was going to hit up. I was like, he came from somebody who we floated down to like the low teens, and now he's back up into the mid-20s again for all of us. I think for me, I've got him going to the Trailblazers. I think he had spacing. He had somebody who can just be a knockdown shooter from the outside. He can create a little bit for himself, a little bit for others. He does everything they need to, and he doesn't come over with a giant contract, which is even better. So for me, it's like a clear Blazers, you're in the boat of we don't want picks. I'm in the other side. Look, we need to hit on these, because these are the guys who are going to be here, because we can't get anybody else in town.
I think I'm the lowest on Dzanan. I had him the lowest. That is, I had him at 29.
Is that just a fear of basically? I know you've been the guy who's like, I don't like foreign players because they bust higher percentages.
With this, it wasn't that. It was just I almost had him go to the Blazers, but then I picked a Troy Brown over him, and then I didn't see Lakers, Sixers, Celtics, Warriors, and the Nets. I didn't see being a team that could say, we're not going to take him. They'd be a team that's like, yes, come here, play with us, because we just need anyone that can play well.
The biggest thing that I think stands out for Dzanan is that he's not a defender. He's a one-way player.
He's got a 3-ball, though.
And that's the thing. He's
wicked good shot.
Offensively, he might be a stud, but defensively, he's going to need some damn work. And that's why I think the 76ers take him.
Worst case, Boyan.
Yeah, but I think one thing with that, though, is it turns into you look at where the draft lines up. I don't think any team can really take a shot on him, or it's worth it, because Mavericks have Troy Brown on the board. So he's a guy that's going to be able to develop quicker. He's a guy that is a little bit more athletic and can. I think
Troy Brown's raw compared to Dzanan.
I think Zanan's still raw, though, because I think Troy Brown could still develop a defensive game, though.
Yeah,
I think that's one thing is
yes, he did.
Offensively, Troy Brown, still needs to work on a shot. He's got a decent ball handle. And defensively, though, I think he's got more potential than Dzanan Musa does. Dzanan Musa looks lost defensively in the EuroLeague.
But he has a polished offensive game, which is something that Troy needs to work on offense and defense. He's just a really great ball handler, good size. Zanan's got size. He's got all the offensive tools you want.
Troy Brown also has a bigger wingspan. Troy Brown comes in at 7'3" wingspan, where I think Dzanan Musa, the last thing I've heard saw was his wingspan's actually shorter than his height.
Yeah, it's like 1 inch shorter.
6'9" to 6'8".
Yeah.
So that's one thing that worries me too. Is Troy Brown has a lot of potential. Dzanan Musa is going to need time. That's why I don't think a team like the Mavericks, who are looking for a 3, would go with the Dzanan Musa. They'd go with a Troy Brown because he's going to be able to work with this team, work with the Dallas team, where 76ers, who have a ton of picks, can take Dzanan and stash him. He's a draft and stash
Stay
right
over there. Don't even bother.
Yeah, so I think that's the thing with Dzanan Musa. It's going to be a team that can take that risk because, yes, he can turn into a great player. I think the 76ers can do that. I think that's why he goes to 26. If there's a team that's able to take a risk before that, maybe the Spurs, then they would take him. But I think it needs to be a team that can take the risk. So Spurs, Hawks, and possibly the Nets or 76ers would be those teams that could take them for me. Any other guys you want to mention?
No, not really. The only other guy I was going to throw out there, we don't have to go in depth, was guy to watch would be Melvin Frazier. Where is he going to go? Because he's a guy that's been rising, got a Tulane that had a really good combine.
Yeah, he's an interesting guy. I mean, big guy, lanky guy, can be a 3-and-D player.
No, I completely agree. For me, the guy to watch in this range, my Malcolm Brogdon guy is Jalen Brunson. Like, go out there.
Let's answer the question. There's a lot of them. Dante DiVincenzo, Jalen Brunson, Grayson Allen. Who are you guys looking at for the for the Malcolm Brogdon Player of the Year award? Because it was Kuzma last year.
Yep.
Before it was Josh Hart, right? And then it was Malcolm Brogdon. Or am I getting messed up?
I think
Josh Hart, Kuzma was the
same draft.
So it was
Brogdon then Kuzma, right?
It was Brogdon, Kuzma. Who are you looking at for your pick? Let's make the picks now. Who's your Malcolm Brogdon Player of the Year award?
Grayson Allen.
I want to go Grayson, but I think Jalen Brunson is just, there's something about this guy. I don't want to call him a kid because he's old.
Brunson would be my number 2.
Because I got him filling in for the GOAT and TJ McConnell's role. And I think he's the guy who can walk in the door and just perform. He can guard any other guard. He can give people trouble, but he's a smart player. He's very, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but he is a very high basketball IQ player.
We're going to get to my player.
Yep.
But here's what it is. I'm looking for a guy that's either going to be on a playoff team with the lights shining bright on him, or he's going to need a guy that needs to absolutely pop off.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think Grayson Allen's going to be able to pop off. I don't think he is.
Potentially not.
He's going to play on a championship
Could be a small
team.
role.
And I don't think that your boy, Jalen Brunson, can do that. I don't think he's going to be in a big enough role.
Okay.
I'm looking at a guy who's going to be drafted in a playoff to a playoff team. I'm looking in the second round. Like a true Malcolm Brogdon Player of the Year award, Javon Carter.
Oh,
he's going to the Blazers in the second round.
Him.
Javon Carter out of West Virginia. He's going to be a lockdown stud defensively, backing up CJ and Dame.
I'm going to tease what they call in the business a tease. You'll get my opinions on him in the second round.
Ditto.
Boom.